After 27 years of constitutional rule and 7 presidential elections, Honduras is once again in the hands of the military. Its answer to President Manuel Zelaya's attempts to change the Constitution. Last week, Zelaya fired a top general who refused to help him organize a referendum that could have laid the groundwork to allow him to run for a second 4-year term in office. Zelaya rejected calls from the Supreme Court to give the general his job back. From the Depression through the Cold War, nearly 50 years, Honduras was a longtime ally of the United States, its military rulers opposed to communism. Zelaya, however, is an ally of Venezuela's Hugo Chavez, a leader Washington doesn't view favorably. The civil war in nearby El Salvador and the Sandinista revolution in Nicaragua, in which the U.S. had a heavy military hand, helped persuade Honduras to adopt its first modern constitution in 1982. In the face of anti-American protests, U.S. training camps on Honduran soil were soon shut down. But Washington would insist that Honduras support its anti-Sandinista activities in exchange for economic aid. Still, battered by hurricanes and earthquakes, Honduras is one of the poorest countries in the Western Hemisphere and a hub for drug traffickers. What's ironic about the current situation is that as recently as 4 weeks ago, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton visited Honduras as an example of democracy in action. Now, with Zelaya forced from the presidential palace and protesters in the streets, there are questions whether democracy indeed is at work in Honduras. Rosalind, Al Jazeera, Washington.